Alright, in the last demo I forgot to change this to 60, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to delete all these dimensions out. Yeah, fortunately I'm just going to have to do them one at a time here. Okay, so let's say I'll remove these datums too. Oh God, maybe I won't. Alright, let's say I have this the way it is right now. Let's say I drew it perfect right off the get-go, and I go to auto constrain and reference this line and this line and stack dimension it. You see there's no dimension to the center of the hole, and that this dimension now controls the edge of the hole and the edge of the part. If I were to change this to 1, not only does the edge move, but the hole moves. So you notice when I did my sketch, I built this circle over here so it wouldn't line up. If I had had this circle over here, where it lined up with this, the center lines up with this edge here, and I try and use auto constrain, there's auto constrain right here in the action pad. If I reference these and stack dimension it, watch what happens to the center of this hole and this edge here. See that circle there? It's saying it's holding coincident. And if I were to change this to 1, notice that that hole follows even though I didn't really want to do that. So what you want to do, even if that's where you want the part in the end, you did want them aligned, you don't want the dimension to control that. So again, what I did to avoid that is to have this dimension or this profile for the circle created outside where I'm not tangent to that edge and I'm not tangent to this edge. I'm not touching anything anywhere. So you may have saw when I created my circle, when I clicked a position, I made sure I didn't have anything like this happening. Because if I would have clicked there, even if I move it off and slide over to avoid the constraint, as soon as you do auto constrain, the first thing auto constrain does is it looks for all its geometrical constraints. And it tries to apply geometrical constraints first. So remember, geometrical constraints are anything in the smart pick. It's a symbol that represents a constraint that is not a value that can be edited, as opposed to the dimensional constraints. Those are values like lengths, radius, diameters, angles, something I can edit and change. So auto constrain by default, by design, is designing to, when you use your auto constrain, find anything that is coincident, concentric, parallel, tangent, and try and apply those first, because if I didn't want that, I wouldn't have had I would have had a dimension to force that otherwise. So under reference, if I pick these as my reference and stack dimension this, the first thing it's going to go look for is geometrical constraints. And you can see that little coincident symbol locking that circle up to this dimension here and locking up that edge. So we do not want that. Okay, so if this were your part, you would want to make this off somewhere else. And then when you constrain it, just move it to wherever those constraints are.